After a couple rescued this lost kitten, they were stunned when its fur started to change color. When they rescued the tiny kitten, they never would have guessed that this would happen. Over the past few weeks, his fur had become patchy and dark. Now, as they watched him growing, there was no mistaking it. Their cat's color was magically changing before their eyes. Bruce the cat has become quite the popular kitty, but that wasn't always the case. In fact, on November 3rd, 2015, he was found bedraggled and nearly dead in his hometown of Auckland, New Zealand. Thankfully, though, Bruce was saved when a woman named Ktten Van Beek found and rescued the tiny kitten. As a matter of fact, Bruce was lucky that Van Beek managed to see him. There had been torrential rainfall on the day he was discovered, and the kitten was easy to miss. At first, Van Beek thought that the tiny gray creature was a mouse or a rat. When she got closer, though, she realized that what she took for a rodent was actually a newborn kitten. He wasn't meowing when I found him, Van Beek told Love Meow on January 4th, 2016, but he was crawling slowly along on his tummy. It was as though he was trying to find his mother. Poor little mite, she recounted. Furthermore, the kitten couldn't have been very old, as Van Beek informed News Now. His eyes were still closed and he still had his umbilical cord attached. No one seemed to know anything about the baby cat or how he had come to be orphaned. The big-hearted Van Beek couldn't just leave the kitten there, though, so she did what any animal lover would do and took the feline home. Van Beek subsequently adopted the kitten and called him Bruce, after Batman's orphaned alter ego, Bruce Wayne. With Bruce now inside, in the warm and dry, Van Beek began nursing him back to health. Becoming parent to a newborn of any species isn't an easy task, but both Van Beek and her husband rose to the challenge and stuck by the kitten during his recovery. During the first few months of Bruce's life, he was incredibly vulnerable, and the Van Beeks had to bottle feed their new fur baby. They were on 24-hour kitten watch, and it wasn't long before Bruce found his voice. He wasn't shy about letting them know when he was hungry either. But even under the attentive care of his new humans, Bruce's poor health led to turbulent times. Living up to his namesake, the fragile feline survived several brushes with death. As a result of these scares, however, even Van Beek's work colleagues became concerned for the little kitten. On December 24th, 2016, Van Beek told the New Zealand Herald, "I was working for Auckland Council at the time. They were really interested, so I started a Facebook page to keep everyone updated." Despite all the challenges, though, Bruce was a survivor. And while everyone loves an underdog, or undercat in Bruce's case, Van Beek didn't expect Bruce's popularity to soar. At first, it was a real life and death battle, and then I thought interest might fade, she said. But with Bruce rapidly becoming an online star, something unusual started happening to the cute kitten. Yes, Bruce's light gray fur was darkening and becoming patchy. At first, the dark splashes were limited to his paws and face, but soon they started to spread. Before long, his entire body had become black, completing his transformation from Bruce Wayne to the Dark Knight. The spectacular change stunned Van Beek, and at first, the cause of the palette swap was a mystery. Regardless of the reason, though, Bruce's magic act caused a further swell in his fan base. Suddenly, he was more popular than anyone could have predicted. He started turning black, so that interested people, Van Beek informed the New Zealand Herald. And from there, Bruce gave the world what it wanted. Soon, he had social media platforms on Facebook, Pinterest, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube. However, he didn't stop there. Bruce even set his sights on the literary world with a book about his life, written and illustrated by Van Beek. But the question still remains: what caused Bruce's color change? The explanation lies with a condition called fever coat. The unusual condition is triggered when mother cats experience upheaval during pregnancy. The disturbance might be caused by stress, or if the expectant mommy catches an infection. It can even occur if she's accidentally given medication without prior knowledge of her pregnancy. The resulting effect, the aforementioned fever coat, temporarily displaces the color pigment of a kitten's fur. Essentially, the fur doesn't know what color it is yet and takes on a light hue. It can, in fact, take up to 8 months for the pigments to reassert themselves. Anyhow, Bruce and the Van Beeks moved to Dunedin, where his exploits continue to be chronicled. Moreover, a second book, inspired by Bruce's adventures in his new hometown, is in the works. It's a bit of fun really for me, Van Beek told News Now. It's just an interesting hobby, Van Beek added. I think he brings his fans a bit of light relief. All trace of fever coat has now gone from Bruce, and these days he's a beautiful black cat with sparkling green eyes. Bruce's color changing trick may not have been magic, but how he's using it certainly is. I'd like to help other little kitties and the public who look after them, Bruce's website states on his behalf. With the public's help, I've raised funds for the SPCA, and now I'm working with the Animal Rescue Network. Bruce then truly is a hero. Please share this video with your friends below.